Welcome to Before the Bid, your connection to some of the world's best livestock sales. Stay tuned as your host, Andy Howe, takes you coast to coast, stopping along the way to talk with producers about their operation, their livestock, and of course, their upcoming sales. Let's get to it.
Welcome, livestock friends, to this Before the Bid podcast. And on this one, we are going out to North Dakota, and we're going to talk to two different operations that are coming together to have one sale. And one of these is a repeat from last year, and a family that I was very excited to meet last year and had a very good podcast. And then one of the things that you do when you're in this position, you kind of follow these people that you do these podcasts with, and this family has just been absolutely tearing things up this summer, and it seems like every other day or every third day they're putting more champions on Facebook. And so just really happy for this family. And they have another operation that's going to join them this time that they had some cooperations go on last year when things were so dry. And now they're going to join together and have this sale. And the sale is going to be on Tuesday, December the 6th, and it's going to be on SC Sales. This is the second online sale for this family, the Johnson Cattle Ranch out in Zip Zap, North Dakota. You guys probably thought I forgot about that, didn't you? But out in Zip Zap, North Dakota. And also, we have Mike Heidt, and he is from Fargo, North Dakota, over on the east side, over by Minnesota. And so we have on the phone, we have Mike Heidt, and also we have Josie and Sydney Johnson. Guys, want to welcome you to the podcast.
Hey, Andy. It is so good to hear your voice and be back with you this year, and we are so excited about the 7 lots that we're going to be selling as heifers, and we also will be having a couple surprise consignment embryo lots out there, so you're going to have to click on that sale and see who's going to be consigning with us as far as the embryos go.
Yeah, excited to hear about that. We got Sydney back. Sydney, 17-year-old Sydney, that is an AI tech, and you've had a lot of success with that.
Yeah, I've had some pretty good pickup rates.
Oh, that's good. And then, Mike, we've got you on here from Fargo, North Dakota, and you are joining with the Johnsons here, and you guys have worked back and forth a bit with some dry situations last year.
Yes, that's right, Andy. Thanks for inviting me on. Thanks to the Johnsons for helping me out and being able to visit a little bit online tonight to talk about the cattle and the operations. Really appreciate it.
Josie, let's start off. When we talked last year, you guys were talking about how dry it was and just really having some problems. And, of course, it's dry across the nation now, but you guys have been fairly blessed.
Well, we ended up the year last year with almost every cow in the feedlot.
Mm-hmm.
And we were able to bring some of Mike's cows onto the ranch and help them get through the winter with feeding.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really tough. I think we had 7 bales left when we finally got everything out to pasture.
Oh, my.
So everyone was like, if it doesn't rain, and the Lord blessed us, and we just had timely rains, and we actually got corn cut for silage, and we got enough hay that we actually were able to buy a little bit more bred heifers and try to build a little bit back up, because we really had to call and sell some of our good cows last year.
Oh, well, that's awesome. That's great to hear.
Yeah, so we're really excited for what the future holds, and Sydney is so excited about looking at these cows and saying, oh, I think this one's going to get AI'd to this, and she has so many plans of breeding already in her head.
Right. Well, that's great, and especially since she's had a lot of success so far. She was just telling me she's got quite a few of them, and quite a few of those came out to be bull calves.
Yes, we're going to be heavy on the bull side, and I'm a nurse by trade,
right?
And my residents tell me, you know what it means if it's a bull year. And I say, don't tell me that. That means it's a dry year coming. So we can hope that won't happen, you know.
Uh-huh.
As we sit here tonight, we are getting a snowstorm, and it is cold. I spent about 4 hours in a tractor with no heat today.
Oh, no.
My toes, my hands, I use them warmers. Oh, I'm ready for winter now, man.
Right.
I got that first froze
Oh.
on the toes, and now we can handle it.
Oh, I hope mine doesn't come till, I don't know, mid-January or something like that would be fine with me.
Well, I look at it this way, you know, last year, ending the year, we would have done anything for moisture. And this year, it's here. So we
Right.
have to be thankful, you know.
Right.
And last spring, we did have what they say, you know, every drought breaker,
Mm-hmm.
you got to have a calf-killing blizzard.
Mm-hmm.
And we had 2 of them this spring,
Oh,
and
no.
it was really tough
Mm-hmm.
on everyone in the area with their calving, and especially in the western side, because we do a lot of pasture calving.
Mm-hmm.
And our blizzards hit us April and May.
Right. Right.
No,
Yeah, well, it was April and May, wasn't it?
nope. It was
Yeah.
I thought it was the 14th, and then the weekend after that.
Yeah, that's right. Yep, a couple of weeks apart there in April.
Okay.
Yeah, it was
Mhm.
like
In April.
2 weekends in a row.
Yeah.
Because I remember we were stuck in the yard for about a week trying to shovel out, and then our pickup kept getting stuck on the ice.
Well, yeah, because the ground was not frozen, so
Right.
things would come down and it would just be slick and ice, and there was so much moisture
Right.
in the snow you couldn't move. You couldn't get anywhere. You know, and the first blizzard wasn't that. It
Mm-hmm.
was that second blizzard that it rained and all the calves got wet,
Mm-hmm.
and then it froze.
Right.
And that's where a lot of the ranchers lost quite a bit of cattle in the area. But, you know, we'll take it if it means it broke the drought.
Right.
Because without the rain, without the snow and the blizzard, we would have no calves.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Right. Mike, you were
Yeah.
in somewhat of the same situation out there on the east side.
Yeah, although we didn't get as bad a storm those 2 weekends as they did in the central and to the west where Josie and Sydney are.
Mm-hmm.
Usually we have probably more snow on the eastern side of the state than the west does, but this year it was a little bit different. But Josie's 100% right. If we wouldn't have got that storm, which I think helped bring the rain even, you know, a little bit later,
Right.
there would have been a lot of cows going to town and stuff. So
Right.
it was kind of a blessing in disguise. But I know the Johnsons worked really hard day and night there for a couple of weeks that were, you know, trying to take care of those cattle and keep them healthy. And, you know, everything went pretty darn good considering, you know, the mess that it could have been. So
Right. Right.
yes. And tonight we do not have my husband with us, Paul. He is
Right.
actually working.
Mm-hmm.
He works at a coal power plant.
Mm-hmm.
And thank goodness they're running tonight. If not, it would be quite cold.
Yeah, if
Right.
not, your toes would be cold all night, Josie.
I
Right.
know. So, but yeah, he's been our backbone of this ranch. I cannot give my husband enough credit. You know, we may be at the shows, but he's at home running
Mhm.
the ranch and working and doing it double time.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, we may be there winning, showing, having fun, pictures, but we're always missing, you know, and always that night at bedtime we call Paul and we all talk to him and say our good nights and our prayers and go on the next day and call him that night, and he's just been such a supporter for us.
Well, that's great. And Josie, there's two others that you have, two other young ones.
Yes, they do. We have a 13-year-old Bennett,
Mm-hmm.
who really has come out of his shell this year. He's been showing a Prophet of Black cap.
Mm-hmm.
Sim influence. And, oh, we've seen him grow leaps and bounds in the ring. And he actually won reserve overall sim influence at the North Dakota State Fair.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's great.
Yeah, Mike could probably talk a little bit more about the backing of that heifer,
Mm-hmm.
her bloodline.
She's a prophet out of one of Chris Efling's better Angus cows that I had bought some embryos on.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Okay.
Bennett really liked that heifer, so he ended up showing her, and he did have a very good year
Right.
showing her and in showmanship. So very, very proud of that young man and the job he did with that heifer.
Yeah, sometimes it just takes an animal to bring them out, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. And them two had a bond. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
you know, Bennett had a hard time focusing,
Uh-huh.
and that heifer had a hard time focusing.
Uh-huh.
So he knew 15 minutes before he had to be in the ring, he better be up there, and them two better be already game planning and working together and getting in a mindset.
Mm-hmm.
And if he did not do that, that heifer would walk, stop, set up, and step out.
Uh-huh.
It took her like, oh, okay, we're at a show. Let's do it, Ben.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So he just knew her quirk.
Mm-hmm.
He knew what she needed, and that is just true teamwork. And that's what you always want to teach your kids,
Sure.
the give and takes in life and how to be a leader and know what to do and anticipate. And Bennett really turned that on this year.
That's
I was
great.
so proud of him.
That's great.
And then we have our little spunky Nevaeh.
Right?
This was her first year showing in 4-H.
Mm-hmm.
She is 9 years old, and she showed a big bred Shorthorn Plus.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that Shorthorn Plus was more in tune to what was happening in the ring than she was sometimes.
No, she really, really was.
Mm-hmm.
There were a couple of times where the line of cows in front of her would pull ahead, and Nevaeh would be looking God knows where, and that heifer would move ahead, and Nevaeh would be like, "Where are you going?" And then she'd look, and she'd be like, "Oh yeah, you're right. Keep coming." It happened more than once.
Right.
Yeah, we were hoping to get one more show under her belt, but she is turned out with the herd because she is due to calve January 17th.
Mm-hmm.
So we're pretty excited of what she has in her. And, when we ultrasound, we get due dates for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But we usually have Travis, our vet, sex them.
Mm-hmm.
But Sydney said we had to have some surprises this year.
Oh, yeah.
So none of the show heifers, we know their sex of their
Oh,
calf.
my gosh.
We know when they're due and who they're due to, but we don't know what they are.
Oh, my gosh.
And I don't know, that is worse than anything. Oh,
Right?
Sydney.
Hey, you got to be excited for something come calving season. You
I
can't know
agree.
everything.
I agree. That's that's so neat. Yeah, that you know the others, but you don't know the Schwebers. That is really cool. That's awesome.
Yeah. And the Nevaeh goes, I am showing the calf out of her Shorthorn Plus.
Right.
And I said, well, what if it's a steer? Well, I'm showing it. I said, what if it has 3 eyes? I'm showing it.
It doesn't matter. Yeah. Right. Right. She
So
sounds.
she has hers ticked out for the next year, too, already.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
So,
Mike, if you would tell us a little about your operation.
The name of my operation is called MFH Cattle.
Mm-hmm.
I've been around the cattle business in and out of it for pretty much my whole lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, have a herd of Angus and Simmental Angus and a couple of purebred Simmental cows.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just trying to breed a few show heifers and trying to concentrate on raising some good bulls for the commercial man as well.
Mm-hmm.
And just very happy to be involved with the Johnson family.
Right.
we have a lot of similarities when we come to, breeding cows. You got to breed something that's going to go back in your herd and make you money and be a mom. And then there's a show ring aspect.
Right.
I can take any one of our cows out of the herd and make them into a show mama, a show heifer. But it's very hard to take that show heifer and to breed her and make her part of your herd. They got to have that maternal, and that's why we show them, right?
Right.
Because they can raise, they can make you money, and they can put the pounds on for that commercial guy. So with Mike, we got a lot of that same thinking of, you got to look at that breeding. And sometimes it's just fun when you breed clubbies for steers, but when you truly are trying to make that bull, that heifer, it comes down to that foundation of the pedigree.
Good philosophy. I like that. And with all your success, I think that's great because you guys, yes, you breed for some showier cattle, but you guys have had so much success breeding for maternal cattle and cattle to turn back out, and I think that's great.
It has been our best show season, and we just found judges that really like their type and kind this year, and the kids stepped up their game, and they're getting older. To be honest, I have not touched a clipper. I have not touched a show halter. Oh yeah, just to hold them on the side.
Right.
But the work in the barn has been the kids.
That's awesome.
It's the crew is the kids. So getting these sale calves ready, it's the kids. So every one of these calves have been handled by a 9-year-old, a 13-year-old, and the 17-year-old, and they are used to noise. They're used to screaming. They're used to radios. I mean, you don't have to say shh.
Right.
They're used to the party in the barn.
Right.
So,
And they're used to dogs and chickens and geese and turkeys. And
Now, Sydney,
everything running around their legs.
Sydney, they're not used to the yelling because of you guys yelling at each other, are they?
I was thinking of that. I think a little bit on Bennett and Vea.
You think it's those two that yell at each other, and that's what gets them used to it? Okay, you're no part of that.
Oh, I yell at them to stop it.
Oh. Okay. Okay. Well, that's good. They need it. So when they go to the shows, they're absolutely calm and ready to go.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's a good thing. I just let them beef it out up at the barn.
There you go. There you go.
Not only is it good entertainment, but it really desensitizes the heifers.
So
God.
is it fighting or is it training?
I don't know.
We're not fighting, Mom. We're just training the calves.
Yeah. Oh God. It's a little bit of both.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
Talking about Nevaeh Shorthorn Plus, we're going to go into our Lot 1.
Go ahead.
That is also our only Shorthorn Plus we're going to have in the sale.
Okay.
And they are related.
Okay.
Nevaeh's heifer is her aunt.
Okay.
Yeah, and Bennett showed the mom of the calf that's going to be in our Lot 1. And he also has been in charge of halter breaking and getting this tag Lot number 1 ready for the show, and he took her out to the Minnesota Beef Expo, and that was a phenomenal show for him to take a first calf out to, and she is broke solid, and she held her own in the ring, and I was very proud of Bennett and how he could get her ready, and he got her showed out there.
Right. And she did very well.
Yes, and Matt Lautner got to take a look at her, and Sydney, I'll let you tell Andy what Matt had to say.
Well, he said she is the most maternal-looking, no guts, no glory calf he has seen, and that it's going to give the buyer a lot of options for not only breeding to produce any more show stock or anything you want to put back into the pasture, but it gives you the option to show her as breeding and as market, just depending on how you feed her.
Well, that's great.
She is really coming along, you know. She is so sound and so clean-fronted. And we had a family here the other day in the barn, and he's like, you know, in the pictures you guys post, I didn't realize how clean and pretty she was in the front.
Mm-hmm.
The pictures do not do this heifer justice.
Mm-hmm.
So over Thanksgiving, when we do our pictures, we're hoping we're going to capture her elegance and how clean and beautiful she actually is.
Right.
So,
Right. Well, you guys do a nice job in these pictures. So if they don't do her justice, why, she is really, really, really nice. Go right ahead and in the lot 2 here for the December 6th sale. Again, the sale December 6th on SC, so the Johnson Ranch. And, go into this nice Angus female.
Yeah, lot 2 is a round table daughter out of XR Princess.
Mm-hmm.
I showed her mom in 2018 or
Mm-hmm.
2017.
Mm-hmm.
And she did really, really good around the state. This heifer has just been coming along on feed a lot.
Mm-hmm.
we've had a lot of people interested in her, and actually she goes back to Justin Reed's ranch. I believe he was in Minnesota at the time when we purchased embryos out of him, but I believe he has moved to Iowa now. And he owns a mom, and this is a powerhouse female, and he has just been waiting to see her. And so I did sneak a clip of a picture on Facebook just because everyone has been asking, where is this heifer? I want to see this heifer. And so she's turning out and turning on every day. Every day we see her getting better.
That's awesome.
And when Justin saw the picture, he's like, are you sure you want to sell her? And I'm like, Justin, you know we sell our best.
Right.
So we got to offer our best.
It's a little tough, though, when you've got you got 3 young people showing, and you end up selling the best through this sale, and they still have to pick out something to show, and you guys still go out and do very well.
Well, yes, that is true, Andy. But, you know, when you have them young kids like Nevaeh, I'm showing her baby. It becomes more for her. It's what she's more emotionally drawn to. And we let them, Paul and I let them pick out whatever they want to show.
Right.
And they have the ability, they know if they work hard enough, they can make that heifer into anything they want her to be. But you got to have that work in the barn.
Right.
And so this, for the next coming show season, Nevaeh actually picked out a heifer that she bottle raised and that our dairy cow raised.
Oh, wow.
Because when she was born, that calf, I think, lived in the house a couple days, and she was so small, Nevaeh could carry her around.
Oh, my gosh.
I do have pictures of Nevaeh holding her. You know, it took every little muscle that girl had to pick her up.
Right.
But, you know, so at that time, Nevaeh knew that's going to be her next show heifer.
That's her, yeah.
And we said, well, you might not win like you are now. I don't care. I'm going to make her one. So we'll see. I guess we'll have to stay tuned to see if she can.
Right.
Sometimes she likes to skimp on her jobs in the barn, but we'll see if she really has it in her this next year and see where we're at with this heifer.
Right.
Yeah, if she puts the elbow work into it, she should be pretty nice.
Yeah. Well, that's great. That's good. And she looks like, you know, some of your pictures that you post, she looks like she's right in there, right with everything else.
Oh, Nevaeh doesn't miss a beat.
That's great. That is so
she doesn't,
great.
Andy. You would think she's the boss of the barn.
She likes to act like it sometimes.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Mike, you have the lot 3 in this sale. You've got a purebred semi here on this one. You got a March female.
She was born March 20th. We commonly refer to her, Sydney and I and Josie, as the no-tag heifer because she lost her ear tag this summer. So what she is she's a purebred semi out of a bull called Vanderbilt.
Mm-hmm.
And Vanderbilt goes back to the son of Pays to Believe.
Okay. Right.
And his mother would be a broker out of the famous Serena cow.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So the Vanderbilt bull is owned by Greg Schaefer and up here in Des Lacs, North Dakota, and he really did a pretty good job. So we're pretty excited about this heifer. The dam of the heifer is actually a quantum leap out of a broker cow. So you've got broker on both sides of the pedigree. This heifer is just a beast. She'll make one heck of a cow, but she's got that show ring look to her as well. Just a massive, big-footed, big-ribbed cow, really kid broke. Just this is going to be a great investment for someone. So we're pretty excited about this one.
I agree with you. Johnson's have a picture on Johnson Cattle Ranch Facebook page. They've got a picture of this one, and I was cruising down through there, and I stopped, and I looked, and you're right, man. This thing is a beast, and she looks so sound and so soft. I really like this one.
She will also be showed at the North Star Classic that is coming up the first weekend in December. She will be on display and showed at that show. So, and that's in Valley City, North Dakota. And that is 2 days before our sale. So if anyone is interested, stop on by that Valley City show and at the North Star Classic, and she will be on display and be shown Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Awesome.
Yeah, and so will our Lot 4. She's also going to be displayed at Valley City with Lot 3.
Okay.
This Lot 4 is on her cow side in Equity times Penelope. My little brother Bennett actually showed this cow in, 2019 as a key?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah. This Lot 4 is dual registerable as a Sim Angus and like a 6% key, and she's out of the Semitol Bull Lover Boy.
Right. Well, good. Hearing, we've had quite a few Lover Boys here on the podcast, and people talking about them and really liking the Lover Boys.
I've heard his EPDs are really good.
He just works with this key cow that we have. This heifer, every time you're in that corral, you look at her and it's like, wow, she is just, every day she changes and changes and changes. And I can't wait to actually capture her because you guys are going to be blown away at her belly and her hip and how she gets out and move and how sound she is. And that's one thing about all these Lot 7s is every one of these my kids would show. There's not a one of them that we would not take out and campaign ourselves. Not a one that we would not be afraid to go and put the work into them. And any one of these could win a show, manage, fed, and, do the work on them. They're going to be good.
Right.
I would add too, Andy, to what Sydney said. It's pretty cool that this one is dual registered. You can, show her in different shows and so forth. So that, to me, that's a really good option for people. So.
Right. I agree. Maybe play a few games and see where you're going to land and where it might get you in a spot to be in a big dance.
Yep, absolutely.
Mike, you've got the Lot 5, a purebred semi. Here we got an April female.
This one here, Andy, is an April 2nd. Her pedigree is probably not as show orientated as some of them. She's out of a bull called Fireproof, and Fireproof is out of Fire Steel and then the famous Sugar Cow. That there's been a lot of progeny, hundreds of thousands of dollars sold out of Sugar around the country. Mother is a purebred Pilgrim cow that, of course, is Pilgrim's Desire of Profit. So what we've got here is a nice combination of what I think is going to make probably one of the better cows of the Semitols. She will show. She's got enough look and everything to her. She's got a great genetic profile on EPDs. Her API is about 143.
Oh, wow.
she's one that has just really come to town since she got on feed and got weaned and so forth. So kid broke as well, wouldn't you say, Sydney?
Oh, yeah, she's one of the friendliest ones in there.
Good.
So
Her and that lot 2 are just buddy-buddy. And lot 4.
Well, the day we weaned these sale calves, we took them to our vet. And, you know, I look out, and the trailer has the calves unloaded, and they're in the alleyway. Here's Sydney scratching between the legs of our lot 2 Angus, and she's lifted her her foot like a puppy dog the day we weaned.
And she was dancing and wiggling, and her tongue was sticking out.
Oh, my.
So she's had a good start. They all have, you know, been very calm for the most part and very easy to break. I mean, Nevaeh's putting the halter on all of these, and she's 9. So, you know, so if my 9-year-old is putting the halters on them, yeah, they're ready to go to a show tomorrow.
Right. Mike, sounds like you got them in great hands.
yeah, absolutely.
Have to be happy with that.
When Sydney gets done carving on them, they look like a complete different animal, believe me.
Got them in the good hands there. So the lot 6, Mike, again, another one of yours. We got another purebred semi here. I thought you said you were semi-cross and some Angus influence, but you got all purebred semis in this one.
Yeah. Just kind of worked out that way this year. So, and I guess I can talk about both lot 6 and 7 kind of at the same time. But lot 6 is a May calf, born May 2nd. She is out of Equity, and then she's out of a Relentless Driver cow. Very, very green, but boy, she's got a front end and long necked and good structure. This one could be pretty fancy as she gets older and, you know, kind of grows into herself. Her mom didn't milk as much as we would have liked, and I think consequently she was a little, you know, behind. But she has just really exploded since she's got on feed. So very, very excited about her.
With Mike saying she didn't milk as much, you know, we got to remember these cows, they are truly cows in our herd that have to go out and eat the grass. And they came in out of a drought, and they were a little, you know, lower in weight, and we've been, you know, got them through the winter. Then they hit 2 storms.
Right.
And then, you know, they had a lot of stress on them. So we are just very happy with how the cows were able to produce and get out there, because there was hardly anything left in the pastures to start with.
Right.
And then 2 blizzards on top of that. So, you know, we're hoping that, you know, that G188, that heifer is so beautiful, so elegant. You want to take her to, like, Nebraska at the end of the year, that's going to be this one's peak time. The Minnesota Beef Expo, that's her peak.
And I would add too, Josie, that's a good point, that this was her 2nd calf. So it was dry last year. So she didn't milk as well. I don't think that's going to be an issue genetically, but it just was the fact. So Sydney just said this one needs some TLC, and I agree. I think her day will be down the road. So.
Okay.
The lot 7 heifer is another May calf, purebred, and this one here we think is pretty special, and I have to give 100% kudos to Sydney on this one. Last fall, Sydney and I had the 4-wheelers, and we were driving around trying to pick out what we were going to be doing here, and Sydney kept coming back to this 937 heifer, and I just didn't think there was enough heifer there. I kept looking at her, and Sydney says, "Mike, just give me some time. We'll make that work." So we did, and she probably the most special heifer of the Semitals, most future in the barn. I think if you're looking for one that's a true sleeper, this is your heifer here. She again would be sired by the Vanderbilt bull, and goes back to an Equity broker cow. She's really green, but she's sound, and her front is about as perfect as you can get. She's got beautiful hair. She just needs, to get going. She has just virtually exploded since she got on feed. So this one we're pretty excited about.
Right.
This one walks on water every time I look at her. And I'm not kidding you, Andy. It looks like she is walking on water. That's how sound and just soft she is, and big hip. And when she moves, she's just flashy.
She floats.
Yep, she floats.
I also have to add on to some of the lots. Lot 3 is actually out as a first calf heifer as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's correct.
Mm-hmm.
Good call on that, Sydney. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Mike, I was talking to him a little bit before we got you online here, and I think Josie kind of likes this Lot 7 as well. I think she we were kind of going down through, and they were telling me this is this and this is this, and Josie didn't even get out what she was before she started telling me how good this one is. So you've got to believe her there.
I am
I'm sure.
Excited for Thanksgiving weekend, because that's our picture weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is that going to be fun? And then we can share with you how good this one actually is. And when we say walk on water, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's maybe you could send me a picture over here in the next couple of days, you think?
Okay. I might do that, Andy.
I have a video of her. I have a cell phone video of her.
There you
so
go.
Maybe.
There you go. If when you get out of Zap and you can get a little bit of cell service, why you send that to me, okay?
Yeah, just gotta drive up the road a little bit,
Up the road, around the corner, down the hill.
Right.
Up the mountain.
Right. Make sure you send me that one. I ought to get a little insight on this one. So it sounds like you have a great lineup of live lots, and I am very excited to see those. And some of those, again, you can see Johnson Cattle Ranch on Facebook. You can see them on there. And Mike, do you have a Facebook as well or anything?
Yes, I do. It's under MFH Cattle.
Okay.
Facebook page. Yep.
Okay. Well, I'll be sure to go and get on there as well, and we want to invite everybody else to get on there and see these lots. And Josie, do you guys want to talk about your little extra special
Yeah, we're going to be having
additions?
some embryos out of Sydney's Maine that she has been showing this year. That is the North Dakota State Fair champion Maine, and in Nebraska she got reserve overall Maine. And she has just been basically undefeated in that ring. In North Dakota, she has not been beat. And the same with Nevaeh's heifer in North Dakota. That heifer has not been beat. And we're going to be offering up some embryos of that heifer, the Shorthorn Plus. But we're going to keep the sires as a surprise. But we may even have it posted on Facebook. I don't know. When I get excited, I like to post them. And
Right.
so I think I might have sneaked in like a 24-karat cross. And
Oh, there you go. You just spoiled it already.
and then what's Nevaeh's out of?
We have some colt embryos we're going to be offering.
Yes.
Those will be a Shorthorn Plus 50-50.
Cool.
Yeah, and Colt's pretty cool. If you look him up, and
Those will definitely be the steers will be marketable as steers, and the heifers will make market heifers or breeding, just depending on how they turn out and which
Right.
parent they take after.
Right.
Well, and I would add too, Andy, that Sydney's Maine heifer, if they are going to let go of some of those 24-karat, that's a home run right there for
Right.
anybody that's on a good Maine Angus female, or hopefully they'll be females. But
Right.
yeah, they're
Yeah, you
sexed.
hope, yeah.
All of Nevaeh's is not sexed embryo, but Sydney's is a IVS sex female for the 24 carats times her
Oh my.
Bogart. Yeah.
Oh my. You
Yeah,
got,
that
you
one-
just
that
totally
one-
you just totally let everything out of the bag.
I know. Except that
We got
won't
some
let
other
this
ones,
out of
though.
the bag. We got 2 other ranchers that are willing, that asked and came forward to consign some embryos, and they have been just people that have guided my children, guided our family, been there, helped us, and we're very humbled and just kind of taken back that they are trust us and even that they want to put some embryos in our sales. So that you will have to click on the sale and see who's been doing that. Or who is going to do that?
Yeah, and what they are, especially that too.
Yeah.
You sure you don't just want to tell us? I mean, you've told us everything else.
Nope. This is a surprise.
That's one you are going to keep.
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to be checking Facebook the next couple of days, and I'll bet I'll see it on there.
You might have to wait until we upload the pictures.
Oh, my. Well, that sounds great. That's awesome. And yeah, we haven't had any of those surprise. We're going to have surprise lots or surprise embryos. That's great. That's really good. Guys, I got a little sneak peek. So you're going to want to go look at these embryos and check those out because should be some very, very good embryo packages. I think that's awesome. I think you guys have a great lineup. And you said there's going to be a show that they can see some of these. Is there any more shows that you guys are going to and going to take some of these cattle that are going to be in the sale?
Well, we took the lot number 1 to the Minnesota Beef Expo.
Mm-hmm.
And then lot number 1.
Number 1,
3,
3, and 4. Yeah.
Will be in Valley City, North Dakota, and that's over the North Star Classic show.
Okay.
So we'll have our Shorthorn Plus on display.
Right, Josie, December 2nd?
Yeah, they'll be there the whole weekend. We'll pull in on Thursday, and they'll be ready to view that Thursday night and Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Oh, wow. Neat.
And they will also be shown in the show.
Mm-hmm.
So, and like always, Andy, any kids that buy from us, any families that buy from us, we're there after the sale.
Right.
You know, Sydney will be there helping them clip at the state fair, helping them clip at their local show, fitting, showmanship. You know, we're willing to help in any way. People have mentored my children. We have to give back.
Right.
And so, you know, anyone who buys from us, be confident that you will not be alone. Any questions you have will be there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, feeding, management, you know, and a lot of these showing these heifers is feed management, and we have really learned that over the last couple of years of how to really feed a heifer and keep her fresh, keep her, you know, in show shape, and keep her bred.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we've had some heat over our county fair, and Sydney's mane kind of got a little sick on us, and just our friends that we're able to call on and say, hey, what do we do, you know? So we absolutely have to give back to everyone else that trusts in our operation to buy from us, that we will be there for them.
Right. That's
Plus,
great.
Sydney does a great job of fitting, so that's a big plus right there in my books.
Right.
To be able to help fit those cattle when they're bought and so forth. She's really, really good at that, Andy. So it's a big deal.
Right. Yes.
You know, Andy, we did go down to Oklahoma this spring, and we took part in that Be a Champ camp.
Ah, okay.
Sydney actually, our first year with Bennett and Sydney and her partner took home the championship fitting and clipping team.
Oh, wow. That's neat.
Yeah, and then Sydney, what did you do in showmanship?
I did 3rd overall in my age group for showmanship.
Right. Right.
Yeah, and Bennett came in 6th.
6th or 7th. It was one of those two.
Yeah.
That was a huge accomplishment for him.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That's when it all started to click together for him.
Right. That's great.
And we would recommend anyone to, you know, if they are really, you know, that camp, it's no joke.
Mm-hmm.
You will be working your tail off, but it's what you need to do to be a champion.
Right.
And they get you in the mindset. And they teach you this is the work you have to do if you want, you know, the best.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's very serious.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
It was a good investment for us, and it gave Cindy a lot more confidence and a lot more, hey, I do know what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, she went in there first year and won that, and I was just so proud of her.
That is really, really great. Guys, anything else about these cattle that are going to be in this sale, or anything about the operations that maybe we missed?
No, I would just say that if they have any questions, Andy, to call Sydney or Josie or myself.
Sure.
We'd be more than happy to talk more in depth about them. Have any other questions that they would have, we'd be really happy to have those conversations.
Okay. Well, that's good. We'll put the podcast video together as well, and if they're not watching that right now, we'll have it put together so they can see these cattle, they can see pictures, they can see video, they can see all of that on that podcast video as well. And you guys, they can check out your Facebook pages. Again, Johnson Cattle Ranch Facebook page, MFH Cattle, and look at that Facebook page. And Mike, I'm sure you guys are going to have all of those up there as well. Go check out SC. Again, go down for Tuesday, December 6th, and look for that sale online.
Check your messenger. I think you might have just got a video of that lot number 7.
I do have a video. I have 2
Can you send them
videos,
the pictures,
actually.
too?
Yes.
I do have.
Okay, good.
Oh, guys, check this one out. Wow. Do not miss this one, guys. They're for real. They are for real on this one.
She might be the last lot, but we're saving the best for last.
She's the real deal. Go check her out, guys. Josie, Sydney, Mike, I sure appreciate you guys getting with us here and getting this one put together. And want to wish you a lot of luck on the sale here on Tuesday, December 6th on SC. Been great talking with you guys, and just want to wish you the best of luck.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you, Andy. And it is so good to talk to you every year. And we absolutely look forward to you next year. And I may send you some messages of what kind of embryo locks that are going to be coming, you know.
Right.
We'll see, right?
Right.
Yeah, but you can't sneak them out.
I'll keep them.
Thank you for everything you do, Andy. Thank you for helping us and being there for us, too. And we love listening to your podcast.
That's great. We enjoy it. We enjoy doing those. Mike, yeah, we'll have to get you on some more.
Yeah, that'd be great. Would appreciate that. So thanks again. Appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Again, guys, Tuesday, December 6th on SC, Johnson Cattle Ranch sale from Zip Zap, North Dakota. And we want to thank you guys for joining us, and we want to thank you for listening to another edition of Before the Bid podcast.